today. And the last quarter moon is going to be on September 6th, 6 at 6:21 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it will be in the zodiac sign Taurus and the nakshatra Rohini. So it's just started raining really strong here. So if you hear that, I apologize. But we're just going to keep going. Today I'll be sharing what we can expect from this last quarter moon. And then I can do readings for whoever might be in the chat, whoever might want one. And if you would like a reading, send a donation of at least $5 to my Cash App. And then come back and let me know that you would like a reading and that you sent your donation, so I can know to go ahead and start putting my energy on you. Okay. So yeah, my Cash App is $Chantilly Coaching, and that's $CHANTILLYCOACHING. My Cash App is in the description box. But let's say you don't want a live reading, you want a personal reading, you can see my personal readings in the description box as well, and we can set something up. You can also, once you click on those links for the personal readings, you can also see my ratings and my reviews on Fiverr. Okay, so moving right along, let's see what we got next on the old notepad. Yeah, okay, so here are the questions for the spread. If you would like a live reading, or even if you would like a personal reading for specifically this last quarter moon or the waning moon. Some of the questions that I'm going to be asking is going to be 3 questions. What do you need to let go of or release so you can reach your goals? The second question is, what could be keeping you from seeing and hearing correctly? And the third is, what is keeping you from putting more effort into saving money? And I'll explain why I picked those specific questions in a second. So we're going to go ahead and get into what I feel like this last quarter moon is showing us. Let me get situated real quick. I really just want to start reading for some reason. Okay, so the last quarter moon, that's what we're talking about. The last quarter moon is the phase of the moon when it's a good idea to let go of things. It's a good idea to release things. It's a good idea to stop doing things that are keeping you from reaching your goals, okay? The waning moon or the last quarter moon is also a good time to remove cords, to cut cords, and it's also a good time to start letting go of bad habits. Okay? So here are some things that I think that we should all be mindful of when we're in the last quarter moon phase. Okay? So what do we need to release and let go? Now, when I say last quarter moon phase, the last quarter moon is on September 6th, so that's 2 days from now. But you can start feeling the energy of the phases of the moon at least 3 to 3 days before or 3 days after that moon phase. Okay, so during this last quarter moon, we want to release and let go of not seeing and thinking clearly when it comes to your family and your relationships with the people around you. I'll explain why I'm saying this. We also want to release and let go of our tendency to ignore our inner truth when it comes to family and relationships. Something we all want to be aware of is people around us who we can clearly see as snakes and enemies. Something else we all want to be mindful of is what's keeping us from putting more effort, excuse me, into saving money. And the last thing we want to be aware of for this last quarter moon is emotional pain from deceit, manipulation, and betrayal from the people around us. Okay? So I want to explain really quick why I'm saying these things so you can understand. And I'm going to start with the sun, okay? So the placement of the sun will help us understand. The sun is in the 4th house because it's 4 houses away from the last quarter moon. The sun is in Leo and the last quarter moon is in Taurus. Okay? So the 4th house represents family. The 4th house represents emotions. The 4th house represents mother. But I really want to stick with family and emotions, okay? That's where the sun is. That is where retrograde Mercury is. Okay? That is where Lilith is. So we really want to pay attention to the sun here in the 4th house. So that's why I keep talking about, are we seeing family clearly? Now, when I'm talking about seeing and clearly, I want to go back up all the way to 3 weeks ago, and when I was talking about the new moon in Ashleisha. Now, the new moon in Ashleisha, like I keep saying, the Ashleisha represents defective sight and the defective hearing. And it also represents manipulation and control. And I like using the picture of the Jungle Book when Ka, I think his name was Ka, was singing to Mowgli, and Mowgli was starting to what do you call that word? He's starting to get hypnotized by Ka's song when he started telling him to trust in me, and you see his eyes start to look like something else. You can start to see something else has control. He's not seeing that this snake is going to kill him and eat him. Now, can you say that? Anyway, I'm gonna say it again. He couldn't see that. All he could hear was the song, so he was controlled and manipulated. And Ashleisha represents the animal that represented Ashleisha is the snake, and Ashleisha is also ruled by Mercury, which is retrograde and which is with the sun. So Mercury played a big part of this moon phase for the last 3 weeks, and it's still playing a big part because it's with the sun. Okay, and it's retrograde and it's combust. So the sun is putting pressure on Mercury to kind of purify what's going on with Mercury. And it's important that while Mercury is retrograde, that we reflect and look at how we see things in our 4th house. I think a lot of us have been controlled and manipulated in this new moon phase. This has really helped us to clearly see things more, especially if we are strong enough to allow ourselves to heal by seeing the truth and by listening to the truth. And the truth, we're going to know it's the truth because it's coming from us and not from anyone else. I meant to set my cards out so you could at least have something to look at. But that's how we're going to know it's the truth. We have to listen to ourselves. Wherever the sun is, that's where we are supposed to, that's where the main focus is, you know. And the sun is in the 4th house. So the sun is 4 houses away from the last quarter moon. And so we need to continue to focus on family. Why do I say continue to focus on family? Is because Ashleisha, where the new moon started, is in Cancer, which also represents family. So there's a lot of blindness with family, with the home, with your emotions, with your mother, that we need to just see, okay? We need to see. Hopefully I cleared anything up with the moon, with the sun. Okay, so the sun, that's where the sun is. The sun is in Purva Falguni, with retrograde and combust Mercury 4 houses away from the last quarter moon. The focus is on the home, okay? And releasing, like I was talking about, the last quarter moon is about releasing and letting go. So we're releasing and letting go things that might block us or stop us from seeing and hearing what we need to hear in our home life and with our families. So now we're looking at Venus. Venus is also very important. This last quarter moon, that's going to be on September 6th. Venus is important because the last quarter moon is in Taurus, right? And Venus is the planet that rules Taurus. I do Vedic astrology, so that's why I'm saying the last quarter moon is in Taurus and not Cancer. So Venus rules Taurus. Venus just turned direct recently, okay? And Venus is in Ashleisha, and Venus also is the ruler of the nakshatra that the sun and retrograde and combust Mercury is in, Purva Falguni. So Venus is very important during this moon phase. Very important. Venus represents women, and Venus represents money. So during this last quarter moon, we still need to be focused on family, because Venus is in Cancer, which represents family, and the sun is in the 4th house, which represents family. But now that Venus is direct, there's also things that we'll be seeing more clearer when it comes to maybe female cousins, when it comes to our money, how we handle money in the family, things like that. So we're going to go on. We're going to go on, and oh my gosh, I want to really just start reading. But I really kind of just summed up everything. And I really just want to start reading. Okay, so that is what I'm going to do. That is what I'm going to do. So here are the questions. Let me go back. Let me go back to see what the questions were. I cannot get this Doja Cat song out of my head. Okay, let's see. Okay, so the questions that we're asking the collective for the collective is, what do I need to let go or release so I can reach my goals? What could be keeping me from seeing and hearing correctly, and what is keeping us from putting more effort into saving money? All right. What do we need to release or let go of to reach our goals? Oh, you know what I didn't say? The animal that represents Rohini, where the last quarter moon is also snakes. Okay, snakes is a reoccurring theme in this moon phase. Okay, and Rohini is a nakshatra where it shows like some foolishness going on in the family. Okay, it's like family relationships that have some mess connected to it. You know, and it can range from anything. But in mythology, it has a lot to do with, let's see, how can I say this? Rohini and Mikshira, that's the nakshatra that's right after Rohini. They have a connection to weird family issues or family members that want each other in a way that is illegal to want each other. That's the best way I can say it. So it's snakes in your family, you know, enemies in your family. And I'm saying enemies too. Enemies is coming up because 6 houses away from the last quarter moon is where K2 in Libra is. And the 6th house represents enemies. Okay? And K2 is there. And K2 cuts things off. K2 separates. K2 is in Libra, and Libra represents relationships. And Venus is a planet that rules Libra, so we're going back to Venus. It's been a lot of manipulation going on that we're finally able to see. A lot of control that we're finally able to see. A lot of enemies, family members, friends, cousins, or not, that we're finally able to see. And this last quarter moon is like the last push for us to get that mess out the way. So I just wanted to make sure I said that before I went on. So yeah, what do we need to release or let go of that could be keeping us from reaching our goals as a collective? Anyone who might watch this video live or listen to it or watch it on the replay. Okay, this is Kalima. Facing fear. Major spiritual changes are unfolding. This is your chance to soar. So we talked a lot about facing fears. I was that last week. It might have been last week, or the last reading I did, which I think the last reading I did was the first quarter moon, because I wasn't able to do it for the full moon. Excuse me. So here we are facing fears, which is the opposite. Facing fears remind me of Scorpio, which is the opposite of Taurus. So the seventh house. So again, in our relationships, we have to face fears. Okay? Because the seventh house represents relationships and business relationships. So let's clarify. What do we need to release and let go of to be more in alignment with our goals for this last quarter waning moon? Please clarify, Kalima. All right. Here we have the Three of Keys. The Three of Keys. Now, what I didn't say, what I didn't talk about is the first. Okay, Taurus would be in our first house because that's where the last quarter moon is, and in 3 houses from Taurus is Cancer. So let's talk about the meanings of the 3rd house. It's the people who are closest to you. It's people who are close to you, like I was saying, like cousins, like siblings. And this is reversed. The chess game. The 3 of Keys, the 3 of Coins actually came out when I was preparing for this. When I was preparing for this reading to see, like, what is it that we need to know? What are the main things we need to know? And let's see, I just want to read it real quick. The 3 of Keys reverse. What does it mean with the Akashic Tarot? This card shows that the political conflict with co-workers, business management, your family, or a disruptive group has grown untenable. It's unlikely to change, and some people's positions may topple or may have done so already. It's time to walk away. Even if you can't actually leave immediately, disengage emotionally. Begin to make plans that will help you put the difficulties, worries, and unhappy people behind you. Don't be discouraged by bringing this to an end. You create the space to bring more peace and promise to your life. It's time to leave the political game behind you. So create a strategy to move on to new beginnings. So yeah, somebody who you are close to, someone around you, it's just time to be honest. It's time to face your fears and be honest. And we've been talking about that for a while now. Let me see. Uh-oh. So, hopefully my battery doesn't die because it looks like it's about to. If it does, is this all God is trying to tell us? Because he keeps saying the same thing. Yeah, so it's more of facing your fears. And let me see, where's my other card? Okay. What is it that we need to see that we're not seeing? What do we need to see that we're not seeing concerning our family, people close to us, people around us? If my battery dies, so I just want to tell you about the last thing. How do we say the money thing is because it's always a lot going on in Astrology. Okay, and Venus, the planet that rules money, is there. And Taurus, where the last quarter moon is going to be, Taurus is about saving. So it could be a struggle to save right now, but we still want to see what's the best way that we can save. Alright, so what is it that we need to see with our family, with our relationships, with our home that we are not seeing? Alright, let's see what's coming out. Lady Venus. Downloads and understanding. Truth is being revealed. Deep insights are coming from heaven and the astral realm. So we need to stay consumed. I meant to say tuned and I was going to say connected. But we need to stay tuned and connected to our spiritual practices. We need to make sure we're meditating, we're listening, not just to people, but we're listening to our spirit guides, we're listening to our spiritual team. And that could be, whoever you consider to be God, angels, spirit guides, ancestors, yourself, your higher self. Know that the truth is going to be revealed, so don't be, walking around looking for something bad to happen. Just know the truth is going to be revealed, especially if you are tuned inward communication. Mercury is retrograde. Okay, please clarify, what is it that we need to see that we're not seeing with our family and people close to us, people around us, our relationships? All right. Three, more three. Three of scrolls. Definitely. We are